Why is it that you can learn a word today, understand it perfectly, and then tomorrow it's just gone? Like your brain deleted it overnight. Hello, my amazing students, and welcome again to your channel. My name is Clara, and today we're going to talk about something that almost every English learner experiences, but very few people actually understand: forgetting. Not just forgetting a little, but that frustrating feeling where you know you learned something. You remember studying it, but when you need it, nothing comes. And most people think, my memory is bad. I'm not good at languages. Maybe English is just too hard for me. But here's the truth. Your brain is not broken. It's doing exactly what it's designed to do. And once you understand this, everything changes. Let me explain something very simple, but very important. Your brain does not store everything you learn. It filters, constantly. Every day, your brain receives thousands of pieces of information: words, sounds, images, conversations, and it asks one question: is this worth keeping? If the answer is no, it deletes it. Not because it hates you, but because it wants to stay efficient. Your brain is like a smart storage system. It doesn't keep everything. It keeps what it thinks is useful. Now here's where English learners face a problem. Most of what you study doesn't feel important to your brain. Let's say you learn the word achievement. You read it, you understand it, you maybe repeat it once or twice, but then you move on. No emotion, no repetition, no real usage. So your brain says, okay, this is not important, and it removes it. That's forgetting. Not failure, just filtering. Now compare that with something else. Think about a song you like. You hear it once, then again, then again. You don't try to memorize it, but after a few days, you know the lyrics. Why? Because your brain received signals: repetition, emotion, attention. Those three signals tell your brain, this matters, so it keeps it. Now here's the key idea. You don't remember what you study. You remember what you experience repeatedly. That's a big difference. And this is where most learners go wrong. They treat English like information, but your brain treats language like experience. Let me say something that might surprise you. Understanding something once is not enough for memory. Even understanding it perfectly is not enough. Your brain needs multiple exposures over time. And not just repetition, but spaced repetition. Today, tomorrow, next week. That spacing strengthens memory. Now let's talk about something even deeper: emotion. Your brain remembers things that feel something. If a sentence connects to your life, if it makes you think, if it feels real, it stays longer. But if it feels like a random word on a list, it disappears quickly. So when you study English without connection, your brain doesn't see value. And without value, there is no memory. Now here's something that most people don't talk about. Forgetting is part of learning. Yes, part of it. Because every time you forget something and then see it again, your brain strengthens the connection. It says, wait, this came back. Maybe I should keep it. That's how memory grows. Not by avoiding forgetting, but by repeating after forgetting. So instead of thinking, I forgot, I'm bad, think, I forgot, now I'm reinforcing it. That shift changes everything. Now let's connect this to your real experience. Have you ever had this moment? You hear a word again, and suddenly it feels familiar. You think, oh yeah, I've seen this before. That familiarity is memory forming. And with more repetition, It becomes automatic. That's how fluency starts. Not from remembering everything instantly, but from recognizing patterns faster each time. So if you feel like you forget English, you're not failing. You're in the process. Your brain is filtering, testing, and slowly deciding what to keep. Your job is simple. Give it the right signals: repetition, emotion, usage. And over time, it will keep more. There's something a bit uncomfortable to admit, but it's true. Sometimes, the more you study English, the faster you forget it. Yeah, it sounds strange, right? You would expect the opposite: more effort, better memory. But that's not always what happens. And if you've ever had a day where you studied a lot, learned many new words, felt productive, and then a few days later, you couldn't remember most of it, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Let me explain why. Your brain has a limit. Not a limit of intelligence, but a limit of processing capacity. When you try to learn too many new things at once, your brain doesn't go into learning mode. It goes into survival mode. It becomes overloaded. And when the brain is overloaded, it protects itself. How? By not storing everything. It keeps only a small part and lets the rest fade. So when you study 50 new words in one session, it feels like progress. But your brain says, this is too much. I can't keep all of this. So it keeps maybe 5 or 10, and the rest disappears. Not because you're weak, but because your system is overloaded. Now here's the interesting part. When you study less, but more consistently, your brain stores more. Because it has time. Time to process. Time to revisit. Time to recognize patterns. This is why slow learners often become more fluent than fast learners, because they give their brain space. Let me give you a simple comparison. Imagine 2 learners. The first one studies 100 words in one day, then stops for a week. The second one studies 10 words, but revisits them every day. After 1 month, who remembers more? Always the second one. Because memory is not about intensity, it's about frequency over time. Now here's another layer. When you learn too much at once, you don't use what you learn. And unused knowledge fades quickly. Your brain asks, am I using this? If the answer is no, it removes it. So if you learn many words, but don't speak, don't repeat, don't use them, they don't stay. This is why many learners say, I studied so much, but I still forget everything. It's not because they didn't study enough. It's because they didn't interact with what they learned. Now let's connect this to something real. Think about your daily life. Do you remember every single thing you read yesterday? No. You remember what you used, what you thought about, what you repeated, what mattered. Language works the same way. You don't remember everything you see. You remember what becomes part of your routine thinking. And this is where most learners make a critical mistake. They separate learning from usage. They study first and plan to speak later. But the brain doesn't work like that. It needs connection. Learning, usage, reinforcement. If you skip the usage, memory weakens. Now here's something even deeper. Your brain doesn't like random information. It prefers patterns. When you learn words one by one, they feel disconnected, hard to remember. But when you learn them inside sentences, inside context, inside stories, your brain sees relationships, and relationships are easier to store. For example, learning the word improve alone is harder than learning, I want to improve my English, because the sentence gives meaning, and meaning strengthens memory. Now here's a shift I want you to make. Stop asking, how many words did I learn today? Start asking, how many words did I use today? That question changes everything, because usage is what creates memory, not exposure alone. Now let me give you something practical. Instead of learning 20 new words today, learn 5. Repeat them. Use them in sentences. Say them out loud. Come back to them tomorrow. That simple change will improve your memory more than any intensive study session, because your brain is not built for speed learning. It's built for pattern reinforcement. Now let's bring this back to your experience. If you feel like you forget English quickly, it's not because you need to study more. It's because you need to study differently. Less volume, more repetition. Less pressure, more consistency. Less memorizing, more using. That's the shift. And once you make it, your memory starts working with you, not against you. Let's look at this from a completely different angle. Not memory, not repetition, but emotion. Because your brain doesn't remember words. It remembers feelings attached to words. And this changes everything. Let me explain it in a very simple way. Think about something from your past, a strong memory. Maybe something funny, maybe something embarrassing, maybe something emotional. You don't remember it because you studied it. You remember it because you felt it. Emotion creates memory. Now compare that with how most people learn English. Vocabulary lists, grammar exercises, reading definitions. No emotion, no connection, no real meaning. So your brain treats it like background noise, and background noise doesn't stay. This is why you can study a word 10 times and still forget it, but hear a sentence once in a meaningful situation and remember it, because meaning creates emotion, and emotion creates memory. Now let's connect this to your English learning. If you learn the word excited on a list, your brain sees it as information. But if you say, I was really excited when I understood a full English video for the first time, now it's connected to your life. Now it has emotion. Now it stays longer. That's the difference. You don't need more repetition alone. You need meaningful repetition. Now here's something very powerful. Your brain gives priority to 3 types of emotional signals. Something new, something useful, something personal. If what you learn doesn't match one of these, your brain doesn't keep it. So when you study random words that you don't use, your brain says, this is not useful. Delete. But when you repeat sentences that describe your life, your thoughts, your experiences, your brain says, this matters. Keep it. Now let's go deeper. This is where your content becomes truly different. Most people think forgetting is about memory, but a big part of forgetting is actually about lack of emotional engagement. If something feels boring, your brain disconnects. If something feels relevant, your brain focuses, and focus strengthens memory. Now, think about how you usually study. Are you engaged, or are you just trying to finish? Because if you're just finishing, your brain is not learning. It's just passing information. And past information fades quickly. Now, let me give you something practical. Instead of learning words like this, travel equals to go somewhere. Turn it into something real. I want to travel and speak English confidently. Now, you're not learning vocabulary. You're building identity. And identity strengthens memory. Because your brain remembers things that are connected to who you are. Now, here's something else. When you speak about your own life, your brain works faster. Because you don't need to invent ideas. You already have them. You just need to express them. And expression is easier than memorization. So if you want to remember English better, Stop focusing only on words. Start focusing on meaning, on connection, on emotion, because that's how your brain works. Now imagine this. Instead of studying 20 random sentences, you repeat 5 sentences that describe your real thoughts. You say them, you feel them, you use them again tomorrow and again. Those sentences will stay because they are not just language, they are part of you. Now let's bring everything together. Your brain forgets English not because it's weak, but because it doesn't feel enough connection. No repetition, it fades. No emotion, it fades faster. No usage, it disappears. But when you combine repetition plus emotion plus usage, memory becomes strong, and strong memory leads to fluency. Now here's the shift I want you to make. Don't ask, how do I remember more words? Ask, how do I make English feel real to me? Because real things stay. And once English feels real, your brain stops deleting it and starts keeping it. Let me say something that might sound strange at first. Forgetting is not your problem. Forgetting is part of your progress. Yeah, I know. It doesn't feel like progress. It feels frustrating. You learn something, you forget it, and you think, what's the point? But your brain is not trying to make things harder for you. It's actually doing something very intelligent. Let me explain. Your brain learns through selection. It doesn't keep everything. It tests things. It shows you something, then waits. If that thing comes back again, your brain says, okay, maybe this matters. If it doesn't come back, your brain removes it. So forgetting is not failure. It's your brain asking, should I keep this or not? Now here's the powerful part. Every time you forget something and then see it again, the memory becomes stronger.